Hi, thank you so much for registering with my website, lightloveandspirit.com. If you're new to the website or you found me maybe through social media, my name is Ashley and I am a psychic medium, channel, intuitive teacher, and spiritual coach. I have not always embraced my gifts. I was scared of them for many, many years. And that's kind of why I wanted to bring you this video today. So this video isn't going to focus just on intuitive abilities and mediumship and releasing fear surrounding that, but the techniques I'm going to give you today you can take and apply to any area of your life. Okay, so we're going to go over 5 ways to release fear, but first I want to tell you what fear is. So let's understand it a little bit. Fear is our our mind system of protecting us. So fear just wants to keep us out of trouble. It wants to keep us safe, and if that means holding us back, fear's going to do that. Okay, and so fear is considered by many as one of the most powerful emotions because it has the power to literally debilitate people depending on what the circumstance is. So some people are afraid of mediumship, some people are afraid of commitment. Some people are afraid of success. Some people are afraid to let go. You can be afraid of anything, and there's no shame in it. Okay, never let someone tell you that your fear is irrational because they're not inside your head. They don't understand what's going on in there and how these fears are triggering you. So the first thing we need to do is understand the fear. Okay, and that is, it's just trying to keep us safe, which leads us into step 1. Step 1 is to embrace the fear. Feel it. Feel it, embrace it. And so what I mean by that is let the fear go inside. So feel it. Take a few deep breaths. Calm yourself down. Notice where this fear is coming from, okay? Where did it start? Did this fear stem from childhood? Did you fail at something and so you're afraid to fail again because that feeling didn't feel very good? If you're a medium or you're an intuitive, have you seen something that startled you, or has the media made you think that mediumship is really scary and it's not for you? It's not something you should be messing with, and so you have these gifts and you don't know what to do with them because everybody's telling you that it's wrong, but yet you're stuck with it. So first, just feel the fear. Take a few deep breaths in and out, and then notice where that fear is sitting in your body, okay? Is it sitting in your stomach, in your chest, in your shoulders, in your neck? Feel that fear, and then just breathe. Thank it for trying to protect you. Thank it for trying to keep you safe, but let it know that you've got this, because you do. Okay, you can get rid of this fear. So what I want you to do then is just breathe with it and just move it. Wherever you feel it, just move it and visualize it going down and out of your body, out of your feet, back into the earth, the universe, wherever you want to visualize it going, just not in you anymore. You have this capability. You are strong enough to do this. You just have to believe it. Don't let fear hold you back. Okay, so number 2 is going to be to write a letter releasing fear. So very similar to the first exercise, except you're going to take more action. You're going to write your fears down on a piece of paper, whether you want to do 1 fear or you want to do 10. Just start writing them down and say, I acknowledge these fears. I thank these fears for trying to protect me, but I'm ready to move forward. I'm ready to get rid of these fears, and I'm ready to live into the sweetness of my life. Fear will no longer hold me back. So whatever it is, whether you're sick of being lonely, but you're afraid to put yourself out there, this is going to help you move past this. Whether you have fear of judgment from other people. That was one of my biggest things, especially when accepting my gifts, is I was afraid of what other people would think. I had to move past that, and I'm so glad I did, because now I get to help other people, 1, accept their own gifts, and 2, connect them to their loved ones that are no longer with us. So whether it's fear of acceptance, fear of the unknown, fear of money, fear of not having enough money, whatever it is, write that down. Say whatever you want to say to it, but think it. and then get rid of it. So some people like to do a ceremony where they burn it and then the smoke goes back into the universe. Some people like to bury it so it's buried and done with. Some people just like to leave it out for a day or two, ask the universe to help them take care of this, and then throw it away in the trash and know that it's done with. Okay? So number 3 is going to be to face your fears. So face your fears and know that when you do this, you're taking an action. You are literally putting fear in the back seat. So the best way to do this is just dip your toes. I'm not saying if you're afraid of airplanes that you should go jump out of airplanes. No. I'm saying to dip your toes. So if you are afraid of your gifts, just start by reading a book, reading an article on them. Start by meditating. If you are afraid of being alone, but you're also afraid to go on another crappy date, you're going to have to get yourself back out there. So, a way to do that would be to just start talking to someone. Just make eye contact with someone in a coffee shop. Something very, very small. If you are afraid of commitment, start by getting a plant. I'm not kidding. You have to commit yourself to that plant, to keeping it alive. Then go for a dog. Then go for the person. So we all have fears, and some may seem very insignificant to someone else, but they're very real for us. So whatever the fear is, just start dipping your toes. Okay? When I was afraid of my gifts for a very long time. And I just started meditating one day. Then I started working with my guides. And then I started trusting myself. All of those things are just dipping your toes until eventually you realize the fear is gone. Or it's much, much smaller. And you can deal with it now. You can face it head on. So another thing, if you are afraid of money or not having enough, that's a big one. That's a really big one for most people. Everyone usually goes through that at some point in their life. A way to start getting over this fear is to actually start spending money on yourself. Some people don't like to do that. Some people save every single thing they have, and you know what this does? This just reinforces the fear. Just like people who are OCD, me, I used to wash my hands uncontrollably, and all that did for me was just reinforce the fear. It didn't matter if I washed my hands 20 times in 5 minutes. Every time I washed my hands, I was getting more anxious and worrying more about germs, and all of this happened after I had a baby. I never used to be that way. I worked through it. Okay, I would go outside and play in the dirt with my kid. He's a boy. I'm going to have to get used to that anyways. So there's just little things that you can do to start dipping your toes in the water of your fears. And literally, if you're afraid of the water, if you're afraid of swimming, start by going to a lake where there's no waves and just get in ankle deep and then shin deep and then knee deep and just keep going from there until you can't reach the bottom anymore and you're swimming on your own. Life is a lot like that. Just start dipping your toes, go a little further each time, and eventually you'll get there. Okay, so number 4, meditate on it. Everybody hates the word meditate because they say they don't know how to meditate. Well, you can start by just breathing in a few deep breaths and breathing out. You can do a releasing fear meditation. You can do just a positive energy meditation. But set your intention for the meditation to release these fears. And in the meditation, you're going to go back to step 1. You're going to feel the fear. You're going to acknowledge the fear. You're going to notice where the fear came from. Why do you have this fear? And then you're going to set the intention of letting it go during this meditation. And so you can meditate in that way. And then number 5 kind of, piggybacks off of meditating for number 4, work with your spirit guides. So whether you are practicing intuitive or not, your guides are there. Your entire spirit team is there, waiting to help you, waiting to assist you. It's so beautiful. It's so wonderful. We have this entire support team on the other side just waiting for us to ask for their help. So go ahead, sit down in your meditation, go through all 4 steps before if you want to, and then call in your spirit guides and just ask them to please help you release this fear, to move past this, to live a life that you know that you're capable and deserving of living. Okay? So if you need a recap, I have an article labeled 5 Ways to Release Fear. You can go and check that out. If you want to start working more with your gifts and you're not sure where to start, check out my shop. I have spiritual coaching. I have cord cutting ceremonies, which is another thing you could do to release a fear. I have intuitive development and progression courses, and even ones to connect with your spirit guides if you're not sure how to do that. Okay, so those are the 5 ways to release fear. Feel it and embrace it. Write a letter releasing it. Face it. Meditate with it and work with your spirit guides. I hope to see you again soon. Bye.